Welcome to the Insane Asylum. We are live with Erin DeBeck, and she's had a very recent experience with this nasty COVID that's been going around, and she's here to tell her story. Welcome, Erin.
Thanks, Joe. Thanks so much. Yeah, I'm not even sure where to start.
Well, when'd you find out?
I actually am a bartender at a local
Thanks,
uh,
Tom.
club here in Tawas, Michigan. And there was an exposure at my place of employment. I want to say like the 25th of August. And then I think it might have been the same person that came in on the 29th, and then again on the 2nd of September. My counterpart, one of the gals that I work with, was feeling like sinus infection and just tired for the that first week in September, and then she had taken off work and had called and said, "Listen, I'm getting tested for COVID." We had not been informed of the exposure immediately, so by the time we were, it was almost too late for us. Um, but
Wow.
then, yeah, like I think it was like the 6th, I was feeling tired. And then by the 8th, I couldn't get enough sleep. I didn't want to eat and I couldn't get enough sleep. And that first 5 days of my infection, all I did was sleep. I did not eat. My arms and legs literally felt like it was pulling me to the ground. My limbs were heavy. Um, so that was my initial um, symptoms with that. I mean, things have changed a little bit now that I think I'm about 24 days in at this point, um, but still very tired, no energy whatsoever, lost my sense of taste and smell.
I was just
Uh,
going to ask that because I think I read that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and the odd thing about COVID, I think people just aren't taking it very seriously, and I don't think they will until they get it. And I honestly don't think it's a matter of if you're going to get it. I think it's a matter of when you're going to get it. Because once it starts to spread, holy smokes! Like my place of employment, within a 2 week period, well, now 3 weeks, there's over 30 cases out of that um, one hot spot.
Yeah.
So, and by the time you realize that you're exposed, it's almost too late. If you're going to get it, you've got it. So,
So did they close the place down after this, or?
So that's interesting. I actually do have a second job as well. I work in a local weed shop here in Michigan, just a couple of
Oh,
days a
that
week.
must be fun.
No, it is a really awesome job. I mean, I was blessed. They asked me if I knew anybody who would take on a full time position while all the bars, like while
So
everything
you're
was
a bud
closed.
tender.
I'm a bud tender. I'm a bartender, a bud tender.
How cool is that?
Well, it's kind of cool right now. Of course, I'm off of both of those jobs, and
Right.
unfortunately, was not employed at the weed shop long enough to collect unemployment. So I'm just collecting on my bartending job, which is not a lot. It's not a lot of money. Thankfully, I'm not going anywhere or spending any money on anything. So I've been able to
Yeah,
get
but you
through.
still have rent to pay or
Well, and
mortgage to
also,
pay or
yeah.
there's still bills
Oh
to
yeah.
pay.
Oh, absolutely. I've got
I
car
mean,
payments, I got insurance.
right.
You
Time
know,
doesn't stop for that.
no, and that's one of the other things. People don't realize, this has been a whole month of my life that I've lost to COVID. And while the rest of the world goes on, there's people like me who are stuck in isolation and sick. And thankfully I've got a great support system, so everybody's been taking care of me, bringing meals, dropping off flowers and gifts, and calling. That's like been the most important thing to me. My people call and check on me every single day. So, I've just kind of been laying low and, dealing with that. I did see my doctor today. Um, I want to say I was encouraged by that, but it was a little discouraging because they too, our doctors and our people on the front line, this is so new and, nobody really knows, what what comes next with COVID. So, like I asked her, well, how long can I expect to be fatigued like I am? And she said, honestly, it could be months. It could be 3 to 6 months. You could maybe never get that back, but we just don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's discouraging. And I mean, and that's one of the things she said, my doctor said this morning too, just like we don't know the long-term effects of this.
That's
And
because
we
they're
won't.
learning as they go.
Oh, no doubt. And there's so much conflicting information. And what's even more maddening, I think, is like where I had the fatigue and the congestion, the loss of taste and smell. There's people that I've been close to that have been hospitalized on ventilators in medically induced comas. You just don't know. Oh, Tom's mom was out for 2.5 months. See? I mean, like that
I'm
kind of.
sorry to hear that, Tom. Well, we know she's doing better. So she's been on shows since then.
Oh, she has.
Yeah, she's a nice lady. Tom's a
Good.
friend of ours. He does
Fantastic.
off the rails comedy podcasts.
Oh, cool. We love comedy around this house. So
Yeah, you get
um, that's
that
the other thing.
laughter.
Yeah.
Laughter's a
And,
good
and there's not been a lot of that. I mean,
no,
it's, when, I understand that a lot of people were in isolation for months and, I had taken that other job. So at least it was doing something. And in the state of Michigan, weed shops were essential
right,
because they're medical.
right.
So that was a blessing. But I mean, to get back to what we were talking about, I started to talk about that. Like as soon as like the bar that I work at literally went 3 weeks before they closed down for a week. And then they opened up. I mean, they did no, I mean, they did cleaning, but not like deep cleaning, and open back up again. Whereas the weed shop, the minute they found out that I was exposed, they closed the building down. They had all of their employees tested and didn't open back up until everybody came back negative.
Right.
You
And they
So
probably
that,
did a deep cleaning too.
oh, they did. They did. And now finally, I think it was just this past Monday. So almost a month in. Hey, Mark,
Hi, Erin.
how are you?
I'm fine. I just walked in the door about 10 minutes ago.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it was a long day at work.
Yeah, I wish I could say I had a long, I mean, it was a long day, but not at work.
I can kind of imagine.
Yeah, no, it's really just been locked down. I've just really been, hanging low and not hanging low, but on the DL. I'm on the DL right now. But
Well,
yeah, so I was
go
saying
ahead and
like,
continue.
so as I was saying, like the bar that I worked at just this past Monday now, um, had somebody come in, they had Serve Pro come in and do a deep cleaning. So hopefully that will stop that hot spot that's there. But you just never know. I mean, we were masked, cleaning all day, trying to bartend and clean at the same time. But as soon as somebody gets up from a table, you've got to go and clean it. And there, so there you are.
Well,
Um,
here's the thing with the masks. They're there to protect the people around you, not you yourself.
no, that's true.
Unless you're using one of the N95 masks, that's the only way you're going to actually be able to protect yourself and everybody else around you.
Somehow we got a
Agree.
bad echo, Molly said, since you
Yeah,
came
we do
in.
have an echo somewhere.
Nope,
It
I
I'm
don't
not
wasn't
think
there
it's
till
on
you
my end.
came in.
Well, it's me, then I'll leave. Bye.
See you, Mark. Only kidding.
You want me to come? You want me to leave and come back in?
I don't
See
know
if
if
it
that'll
fixes it.
work. It might.
All right, we can see if that'll fix it.
Tech issues. It happens all the time. But I still hear an echo a little bit too. Who knows?
See, I'm not hearing it.
Okay, I'm back.
It's still
It's
there.
still there.
I think it could be Facebook or something delaying. Who knows?
It's a possibility.
So anyway,
So anyway, Aaron, how have you been so far?
Well, just like really tired. Like as I was saying before you came in, Mark, I'm just the fatigue has been my biggest issue. I can't get enough sleep, and quite honestly, I think 5 days in, I had slept for 5 days and not eaten. I've lost 14 pounds in the last month. Um, but the first day that I was like, oh, you know what? I just really want to take a shower. I took a 10-minute shower and then was knocked out for 3 hours after that because it just took that much of my energy. Are you guys checking? I can kind of hear it now, but
Yeah, I'm not sure what it is.
I'm not sure. I can't figure it out either.
It's almost like it's an echo of the sound coming through the computer and then going right back through the mic.
well, I have no idea about any of that stuff, so that's all I knew.
Now, are you on a laptop or are you on a desktop?
I'm on a tablet, actually.
It might be because she might not have headset.
You don't have headphones, do you?
I don't.
That's all right.
That
That's
that
why.
could be the whole
We'll
thing.
just have to deal with it.
Well, I'm sorry.
No,
That's
it's
okay.
okay. It's okay.
It's catching everything that comes through her speaker to the mic because they're so
Yep.
close together.
So everything that comes back through your
See,
speakers when we talk, it goes into your mic.
our local expert agrees with us.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay,
you,
so
Molly.
what can I do?
Oh, that's just
There's
chill out.
really nothing.
There's nothing we can do.
Damn it.
Unless you have a headset
All right,
or
earbuds.
like the earbuds with the mic in them, like for a phone.
Yeah, I don't know that I do. I've got a nephew who's all techie, but he's of course not here right now. Let
That's all
me.
right. You don't have to worry about looking around. Don't waste your energy.
Yeah, don't waste
Oh,
your energy, Aaron.
that's so
Just
sweet.
You know.
we'll deal with
Oh,
it.
well, no, I feel bad because I know people are
Nah,
sick.
Well, people need to know that this is not no hope
no,
or a
it's
joke.
not a hoax and it's not a joke. Yep.
No,
So
really, it's not. And when all this started, I was like, oh, you know what? Whatever. If I get it, I get it. If if I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get it. But God, I'm just so sad that I got it because you think, well, yeah, I'm gonna fight this and I'll be fine, and I'm not gonna get what everybody else has gotten. But it's been pretty rough.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
I can
here
just
we already
imagine.
have. Here we just recently have our own president being reports that he's caught it now.
Yeah, I did hear that too.
In fact, the latest is the resident doctor in the White House is sending him to Walter Reed for a couple of days.
Yeah.
That's what Joe said.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Marine One took off just before I came in here.
yeah, and who knows what his symptoms are going to be and how he's going to handle it. I mean, all of my people are like, "Oh man, I can't believe you got it," and I'm like, I can't believe I've got it either. But you just never know. And I was careful,
It takes
so
one person to walk around and do things and go in and out of businesses and do all their stuff and not wear a mask.
yeah, well, and the
That's
thing
it.
is, I don't know how it is in Wisconsin, but in Michigan, to be like you have to have a mask to walk into a bar.
Hmm.
Once you get to your table, you can take your mask off. You can have 10 people sitting at your table and not have a mask on. And then when they get all up to leave, I'm the guy that's got to go clean off that table. Even
Well, if
though
they would have,
I'm masked, I'm not gloved while I'm bartending. And you can only, you can wash your hands every 10 minutes, every 5 minutes, every minute,
Yeah.
really. Because everything you touch, you're picking something up.
right?
Yeah, exactly. You never know what's going to be on a glass that you pick up or a dish that you pick up or anything like that. It's just that, like I said, it can be just that one person and not wear their mask. Now, see, here in Wisconsin, I think it's 6 people per group. Um,
Yeah.
I think that's what it was, and I heard from somebody who is in the restaurant business that a group of 12 people came in and they wanted to sit together, push tables together, and they told them no, you can't. Just 6 people per group, so
And they
you
got, and
two
they're only
separate
running.
tables.
They can only run at like half the capacity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they can
And
only be half
we're at half
capacity.
capacity as well. Yeah. Yeah.
In
And I mean,
fact,
go
oh,
ahead. No,
sorry, go ahead. I
no,
didn't mean
all
to
you,
step on you.
honey. Nope, all you. Go ahead.
Well, my job is delivering dry ice, so I am constantly up at the university. Every single day, I'm up at the university, and the university right now is having huge outbreak. And the people in charge of the university have actually said that they want to go all virtual right now because of the fact that this outbreak is happening, and they want to close down the dorms. So
Ooh.
basically, they want to send the kids home, go all virtual, and close down the dorms. And that's
It,
what they were talking about.
That's
yeah,
because they
like,
can't control the parties.
well, and that's another thing. I think these younger kids, and I'm not saying because I'm an older person.
No, but it's because we
However,
were there.
no, and that's exactly it, Joe. I mean, like, I look back when I was my nephew's age, and he's 17 right now. The things that I was doing back then, oh my goodness.
We
Like,
thought we were invincible.
and that's exactly it. And I
Yeah.
think
Exactly.
it's just the climate of the country right now, where it was, oh, this is a hoax, this is whatever. I mean, I honestly think that people care more about their freedoms right now than they do about other people.
But here's the problem with that. If you're in lockdown and you're having to quarantine and you're trying to get a handle on a virus that's causing a catastrophe like it is right now, it's not stepping on your rights. They didn't tell you that you have to stay in your house 24/7 and not be able to go out and take a walk or walk the dog or anything like that.
No, that's true.
Okay, so you have the ability to step outside your house. You have the ability to go for a walk. You have your ability to take your dog for a walk, but wear your damn mask.
Exactly.
Because
See,
if you
well,
are
they didn't
actual
put that mandate in
asymptomatic, if
across
you're
the board right
no,
from the
they didn't,
start like they
and that's
should have.
exactly what they should have done. If the government that we have right now would have actually paid attention and did the right thing by shutting us down immediately and closing our incoming flights from Europe and Asia at that point and check everybody as they came in, we wouldn't be in the situation we are right now. We'd actually be like New Zealand or Australia, where we'd have just little spots here and there that would pop up, and then you'd be able to actually stamp it down. But the way it is right now, because nobody wanted to pay attention and they didn't want to do the right thing and they didn't want to get everybody on the same page, now we have what we have.
Well,
We
oh
are,
yeah.
we are, what is it? We are, I'm trying to think of how they said it. We're 4% of the world's population, or 4.5% of the world's population, and we have 20% of the world's deaths.
22, I heard. Yeah.
And it's because of this virus and the mishandling of it.
Oh, no, I agree. And I mean, we've got friends that we love and adore, but they won't go into businesses that require them to wear masks.
And that
They're
ain't
just like,
I
you're not
I
going to
and that's
know
freedom.
a
and
few people like that
I
too.
have to say it this way, but that's on them.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
agreed.
it's not infringement on their freedom. It's just basically asking them to have a responsibility. That's what it is.
Absolutely.
I don't like wearing them either because I can't breathe, but I've wore them
Oh,
when
no,
I
I
go to
hate
Woodman's.
wearing them.
I go
I
to
mean,
Woodman's, I'm wearing them suckers because nobody practiced social distancing at Woodman's.
and it's hard to do. I mean, anywhere you go, like they'll say, practice social distancing in Walmart. Well, a lot of people don't do that. I mean, I
But
think
at
they
least
just,
wear the masks.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And you're not being told you have to wear those masks in your car. You're not being told that you have to wear those masks when you walk from your car to the door. You're not being told that you have to wear those masks inside your house. But when you go into a business, yes, please wear the mask because that is going to protect other people from you. And if the other people have their mask on as well, that's protecting you from them.
Oh, let me tell you, when I came home to my family, because I live with my sister, her husband, and her son, we have a big two-story house. Thankfully,
You live with
um,
your sister?
I do. I'm
Oh
looking at
my
her.
God. Hi, Kristen. How you doing, Kristen?
She's doing good. She's over here giggling at you, Joe. But yeah, I
Yeah, I
mean,
look
like,
like an old man.
nah, you're fine. We're all looking old, honey. That's what happens
But
when you grow
here's my
old.
favorite. Here's my favorite fun.
But yeah, no, nice. You're funny, Joe. That's funny. Oh, yeah. Now you need a tattoo on your forehead too. You've got a picture of Charlie Manson up next to
That
me.
that can be done with a little Sharpie.
Sure. Yeah, that'd be fun. Don't pass out at any party. And if you do, have your shoes on, because then you're safe. Um, so no, what I was going to say, Mark, like when the health department had called me, um, because they were doing contact tracing. And that was actually the day that I had tested the first time for COVID. They had called me and said, "Hey, we've got two people that have COVID that have you as a contact. Like you've been in contact with two different people. So you need to go get a COVID test." And I said, "Well, right off the get, like I went and got COVID tested this morning." Um, and so they said, "We need you to isolate at home. If you live with anybody, you need to wear a mask." So for the last month, I've been wearing a mask in my own home.
Right. Well, yeah, but you're living with someone though at that point.
Yeah, yeah. Oh no, and we've done. I mean, like I think one of the first days that I actually felt like I had a little bit of energy, we totally bleached down everything in the house. And that's now been pretty much a daily occurrence. Anything that that I touch, or for that matter, anybody touches in the household, we're just trying to keep ahead of it. So,
Right. Well, also, another thing they were saying about this, the COVID is there are many different strands of it,
yeah,
and this particular one, there's like about 20 different strands because of
yeah,
the mutations that it's went through. You have the Asian strand, you have the European strand. So there's reports of people who have had the Asian strand of it are getting the European strand of it.
yeah, yeah, and that's what my
So
doctor said today. She said, "We just don't know, but they think that once you had it, like within the first 3 months of a positive COVID, no matter what the strain is, that they say you're more likely to get another strain or
yeah,
fall sick from something else." So, like this morning, I had my doctor's appointment. I have never had a flu shot in my life until until today. And I got a flu shot today because that's
Wow.
what my doctor said. She's like,
Well,
you do
the
want,
doctors are saying get flu shots. If you've never
yeah,
had a flu shot, get a flu shot. With
yeah,
flu
Wow.
season coming up, they said that it could actually help with alleviating some of the symptoms that the COVID even has,
yeah.
that the
I've
COVID
gotten
19
them.
has.
I think I've gotten them every year
I
since
don't get flu shots. I'm the same
'95.
way you are. I've never got a flu shot. But it takes a whole lot for me to get sick. I've actually been in the same room with a person who has the flu and never caught it.
Yeah. No, I usually have a very healthy immune system, and
Yeah,
like
Well,
I said, like, oh, I'll never get this. Like, I just have this healthy immune system,
but you
and
never know what's going to happen.
no, and
See,
I
my biggest fear is because of the fact that it takes so much for me to get sick that if I did wind up getting exposed to the COVID, that I wouldn't have the symptoms, that I'd be a freaking asymptomatic.
and I thought that too. But yeah, no, once and it happened so quick. It's like, I mean, I'm sure it wasn't quick. I'm sure I had like a week of exposure before it hit me. But once it
Right.
hit me, woof, it was like a hammer. Like it just, I was down.
mm,
And
Yeah.
I haven't, like I think it was maybe 20 years ago, I had contacted viral meningitis and had been
Wow.
hospitalized for like almost 10 days with that. And it took me years to recover. Some things I still have problems with, like short term memory, and that was 20 years ago. So I guess maybe, I don't know, when I get sick, I really get sick.
Yeah. Well, that's the way it is with me. It, like I said, it takes a lot for me to get sick, but when I do wind up getting sick, it knocks me down for about 24 hours and then
the
I
older
pass out.
you are, the weaker your immune system gets.
I don't know about that, Joe, because the older I've gotten, the less amount of sickness
Well,
I wind up getting.
the uglier you've gotten too. So,
Well, you
we
know,
haven't figured what you
talking
are
about you
yet.
too.
You're not of this earth.
Well, you never know. I may be alien.
And I told you you were. I mean, only an alien would keep wearing a Rick and Morty shirt every time on the same show.
What's wrong with Rick and Morty?
I
Rick and
didn't say
Morty's
anything.
funny as hell, man.
Never mind. It's the same shirt every time I see you.
This is my night shirt.
Uh-oh.
Wrong with that.
What'd you break now, Joe?
Okay, that's probably me. Maybe.
He's breaking things.
No, I'm not breaking things. Tom keeps sending me messages.
Well, the last thing up here is Tom said their stuff is freezing.
Yeah, and he sent some kind of photo, and I can't look at it through my phone.
Well, can't you look at it through Facebook?
No, I'm not going to open another window. My computer's working hard enough as it is.
Well, yeah, I'm sure your computer's working pretty hard to not look at you. It's afraid it's gonna wind up
You
breaking.
just go sit in a corner and be quiet. You know, so you probably met a lot of people, because I know you had that shop and stuff that probably thought something like this was a hoax and a
Oh
joke.
yeah, I mean, a lot of people, even at the bar job that I have, people will try to walk in without a mask, and they're like, "Oh, I don't have to wear a mask." And it's like, well, you kind of do, um, and they do, but and oddly, like there's somebody that comes to mind. Of course, I'm not going to say names because I don't, whatever. But I'm not going to call anybody out. But this particular person who was refusing to wear a mask actually had been very sick back in December and January of this year and year past, with certainly with COVID. But at that time, of course, nobody knew what it was. Um,
Well, they knew what it was.
well, I
They
mean,
was just keeping
I'm
things
Back when?
under.
yeah, no, I'm sure. I mean, like I have a girlfriend, and I'll say her name because I love her. Well, it's not even her name. I call her Lola. So Lola had been sick back in December, right before Thanksgiving, for 3 weeks, and she had been to the emergency room 3 different times, and they were just like, we don't know what to tell you. We don't know what this is. We know it's something respiratory, um, and would send her out of there with steroids and Z-packs, and she's, I think she had lost a ton of weight and now subsequently is having these heart issues. And so they really don't know
Yeah,
what the long-term effects are going to be here.
no, they're not sure, because this virus is supposedly a respiratory virus, but it also it targets the pulmonary system as well.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh
a lot of people are having issues. They've even got athletes who are actually having a lot of
Well,
issues, heart issues.
steroids,
yeah. Heart.
and prolonged use of steroids isn't really good for you either.
No, quite honestly, I'm not a fan of any meds.
I'm not
Um,
either,
yeah.
except one,
A
the all
natural
natural
med.
medicine. That's
I
right.
am down with you guys on that situation
I'm
for sure.
I'm a big
Um,
fan of it.
Problem is, I'm a truck driver, so I can't have that stuff. I
Well,
can't do it.
I smoke
you
enough
had,
for both of us.
yeah, there you go. Well, and like I have not even been medicating this last month, because like I do have a Michigan marijuana card. Yeah,
Well,
and
see, this is all CBD in here.
oh, nice.
I got 1,000 milligram CBD. I can actually use this without any problems
Yeah,
through that because it's CBD is legal. But
yeah,
CBD is
yeah.
actually okay for you too.
Oh, no doubt. Like I sell a lot of so I mean, I don't know if you walked in late on that, Mark, but we were talking about how I'm a bartender as well. So I work in a facility at a marijuana facility here in Michigan.
Yeah, she probably knows more about it than you or I.
You know what? Let me just say, when I took that job, I'm like, oh, I know all there is to know about weed. Yeah, guess what? I don't know anything. I have learned so much about weed. It is crazy.
Yeah, we were smoking
there's
a lot
there's a
back in the day.
lot there's a lot to learn.
No, and there really is. It's just such an amazing industry, and I'm hoping. And I don't like to talk politics, but I'm hoping on this next round we get somebody who will embrace that and just federally legalize it
Yeah.
because
They need to.
Well,
They need
in the
to.
state of Michigan, it's municipal, right?
it's medicinal and
Or
recreational.
medicinal. So it's
Yeah.
recreational as well.
Oh
Yep.
yeah, we just
For
went
anybody
recreational.
over the age of 18.
We went
All right.
recreational.
So what the fuck's wrong
A
with
week.
Wisconsin?
I don't know.
I
I'm
don't
thinking about
know.
moving to
Got a bunch of
Michigan.
idiots here
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I
because
moved from Wisconsin.
Illinois just legalized it for both
Yeah. Oh no, and
I
then
won't
just
and,
live in
last year.
Illinois.
there will come a time. I mean, we just need to get the right people in to represent the people of this country because that's
No.
not what's
Oh,
happening.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Most of the Congress that's there right now, they're old fogies and they need to go.
Well,
Yeah.
We need to
I
put the
definitely
younger people in, the ones that actually understand.
see.
You know what? I was
It's,
having a long conversation this morning with one of my friends about that as well, about, like being taxed to death. And I'm like, I wonder if they remember. That's why we left England. But,
yeah.
Well,
but you're right. I
that's one
mean,
of the reasons. But
yeah,
you
and
also
we've
got to
got,
think too. When Carter was in, the tax rate was like 74%
yeah.
for the upper people, for the like super rich,
I actually
and
was
for
kissed by
us it was like
one
lower.
time. Jimmy Carter kissed me once. I was little when it happened, but it was kind of cool. He wasn't quite president yet, but really close.
They just need to declassify it. You
Well,
know, get it off that list.
yeah, it should have
Oh,
never been put on the class one um,
no, no,
narcotics list. Anyway, it's not a damn
You
narcotic.
know, the thing
yeah,
is, I
I'll agree with
quit.
that.
I
If anything, it's a
smoked.
carcinogenic.
I smoked my senior year throughout my senior year of high school, and I graduated honor roll from La Follette. Okay. Then I stopped smoking for a while because I was security. So I stopped smoking while I was a security officer, you know. And then when I got hit with the leukemia and stuff, and then my that little Asian bone marrow transplant doctor told me that if I could find it and get my hands on it, I might want to try it. Well, guess what? I started smoking again, and I don't have to take those 20 some odd pills 3 times a day. That used to be my immune system for me.
Right. Yeah, no, they've got some amazing different things. I don't know if maybe
You know,
and
plus
you
all
guys
the
might not
pain
even
pills
know
and
about things like this, but there is this, it's called Rick Simpson oil. It's RSO. Um, and it is something that it's a concentrate that they're using for medical purposes. I mean, they use that. I mean, people with cancer, especially, have been it's been beneficial for them.
Yes. Well, it's
So,
also been proven that marijuana, certain strands of marijuana, will actually kill the cancer cells. It makes them turn on themselves.
well, they keep
yeah.
finding new stuff every day.
Well,
I
and
know.
you
But
know, and I think
there's
with the medical, pharmaceutical and medical people in this country, I mean, I'm not saying just like I mean, the country is basically run by big pharma and medical.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
No,
So,
here's the
But
country is run by big pharma and oil, and
oh, for
then
sure.
you have the billionaire class who are in the upper 1% who are trying to control it all.
well, just look at all the side effects on some of that shit.
Oh no,
So,
and some of that stuff you don't even know. I mean,
You
there.
know,
I was just watching something on Netflix the other night. Shoot, what was it called? I can't even remember. But it was about that, and it was
hmm,
about medical greed and them putting different things into, like birth control for women, where they're inserting things into your fallopian tubes, and then these people are suffering. Or, that they're doing joint replacements with cobalt contained things, and that stuff is eating up people's systems and putting them into dementia,
hmm,
and they could be dying from dementia when all it is a cobalt that can
yeah.
be reversed. And so it's just maddening how our um,
Well,
how our medical
that's
system is.
right. That's the thing, though, with the pharmaceuticals. The only thing they care about is actually making money.
Well,
And
that's true.
if
well,
you
yeah,
look
it's
at
all about the
most,
mighty
if you
dollar.
look at most of the medications that are out there, or a lot of the medications that are out there, the damn side effects is almost worse than what the disease they're treating it with.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's like,
And
okay, I've got
what's the worst side effect from pot? The munchies.
uh, ch-
And
I
that
have
You
really
might
yet
gain a few pounds.
I have
smoking.
yet to find anything on anybody overdosing on marijuana unless the marijuana is laced with something.
Well, and there are actually a couple of funny stories. We've had a couple. I mean, I have a friend of mine who makes his own brownies, um, and he's been through a whole lot of stuff. He's had cancer. Um, he's had like 4 or 5 different kinds of cancer. He has one of those trachs in now that can't speak. But he'll make himself a pan of brownies, and he'll sit down and eat the whole pan of brownies.
Oh
And then
Jesus!
all of us, yeah, no, and then all of a sudden he'll fall out on the floor, and it's like, listen up, Lieutenant Dan, stop eating all the bread. Like he's literally overdosing himself to the point. I mean, not overdosing, but he burps out. Like he falls out. He's got no legs, and so he'll go to the hospital and won't tell them, of course, that he's eating a whole pan of brownies. I don't know what's wrong with me, but so I mean, we from time to time we'll get a couple people that'll call the shop and be like, I'm gonna call an ambulance. I'm freaking out. And we're like, don't call an ambulance. Just like you took too much. Just like sit down, take a couple deep breaths. You're not gonna overdose. Everything's gonna be okay.
You can't overdose.
No.
There, you can
You
smoke. You smoke to a point where, yeah, you start feeling sick, or yeah, weird shit starts
actually
happening because you
actually
just
you
overdid
won't
it.
feel sick. You can't.
Yeah,
No. Okay.
not smoking. Now, edibles are a completely different story. Like, completely different story.
I try to stay away from them.
Well, okay. Here's a good story for you. Okay. When I was like 17, 18, I had a friend that lived in Alaska, and he'd always send me a pound of the Matanuska thunderfuck. It is the stuff that was grown in the Matanuska Valley. This is like 50th generation weed. I would take it, and we'd pinch off what we want of it, a little bit off of it, and then we'd cut the rest of it because it was so potent. If you smoked it by itself, 2 to 3 hits. That's all it took. 2 to 3 hits, and you were catatonic for 2 hours.
Fucking stupid weed.
And that's exactly what we called it. We nicknamed it stupid weed because it only took 2 to 3 hits, and you literally were catatonic for approximately 2 hours. You'd wake up out of your catatonic state going, okay, what the fuck? I thought I was watching this on TV, but hey, there's something else playing now. And then you
Yeah,
get up
no,
to go to the bathroom, and this is when you want to make sure everybody in the group is smoking it at the same time, because you'll get up and go to the bathroom and go to wash your hands or something, look in the mirror, and somebody had taken a Sharpie and fucked with your forehead.
Yeah, you got a lot of room for that too. By the
Now
way,
I do. Back then I didn't. Back then I was sporting the
you
mullet.
actually had hair back then.
Yeah, I actually had a mullet,
that's so funny.
kind of like you, Mr. Mullet.
No,
over
mine's
there.
not a mullet.
The mullet is coming back, I hear.
Mine's not a mullet,
Well, we can make it a mullet.
and I haven't had my hair cut in 20 some odd years.
No, at one time when up until I was about 20 years old, I actually had hair all the way down to my ass.
Nice. Yeah, no, I
I miss it.
yeah.
Now
I
I
don't
can
like
rub it like this, and it'll start shining. And get a Kleenex, polish it.
funny.
But yeah, I mean,
Well, at least you're in a better mood than you were on the phone.
well, whenever you got a specific time of, time that you're supposed to do stuff in, and then the fucking boss throws you like 4 different extra shit to do because the other guy is too stupid to fucking do it,
Oh my
and you
God.
got to
Welcome
cover his ass.
that anybody's ever worked, ever.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah,
And
no,
here,
we have.
and here, I actually thought I was going to have overtime when I got done
Yeah.
today. I actually don't. It was funny.
Funny that you didn't have overtime.
Yeah,
I'd have
because
been-
I figured I'd have about an hour or two of overtime, but I don't.
Hmm.
But anyway, we're supposed to be talking with Erin here, and she's supposed to be telling us her story.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say. I mean, like I said,
So
everybody.
has your taste and smell returned?
So that's interesting. Kind of. I mean, like, it seems like if I eat things that are orange, like, so I drank some emergency tea today. I had a cup of orange juice, and I could certainly taste those. So I don't know if it's just the acidic or the citrus that is just like popping on my taste buds, but I still cannot smell, and I'm not tasting everything that I'm eating. So I'm like, oh, maybe I should eat healthy, but but it's like the sweet things. I think it's the sweet and the acidic things that I'm tasting more than anything right now.
Have you tried tomatoes yet?
I'm not a tomato eater.
Well, tomatoes are
No.
acidic, and that's something you can actually test.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, maybe find me something else because I'm not a great tomato fan.
I know what that part was like because I went through it, losing my sense of taste when I
Now,
was
how long with the cancer, you mean?
yeah,
How
because
long
of
were you
Well,
the
the cancer and the
that?
chemo.
well, here's
Yeah.
what happened. I went through what was called total body eradication. They set me in a room and in my
Oh,
underwear and just flooded it with radiation.
Oh,
And this happened a couple of times a day for several weeks. And this was in preparation for the bone marrow transplant that I had to go through. Basically, they were killing off all my blood cells, is what was going on with the
crazy.
radiation. But my skin burned. I had radiation burns in places you don't want to be burned.
No,
Okay.
I can't even imagine.
But I was shedding my skin like a snake. But the worst part was is I had radiation burns inside my mouth, and they took all my teeth at the same time before the when they put in this Hickman catheter that was in my chest. So they took all my teeth, so I still had the stitches from that, and the scars and the healing from that at the same time. This was going on, and I had lost my taste, so the only thing I could drink was like orange soda. I could taste it at one point. I could start tasting it, but if I ate
Huh.
tomatoes or like tomato soup or something like that, it would burn.
Yeah, see now my
Cheese would
girlfriend,
even burn.
yeah, now like my girlfriend Carol, who's my counterpart where I work, and she had gotten COVID as well, had said that, and she is a avid coffee drinker, had said that she has not been able to drink coffee, even though because it's bitter to her. It's very bitter to her. So now she's trying to find something else. But it's
tea.
just weird.
I couldn't drink Mountain Dew.
And I would think tea would help too, just because it's warm and that's supposed to be helpful.
Well, you don't have
Um,
to have it warm. You can have tea. You can brew tea and have it cold.
oh yeah, yeah,
But
true.
tea might be a good substitute at that point.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Um, but yeah, I don't know what this whole taste thing. I'm hoping that I get it back all together, but I just don't know. And then last week too, I thought that I was getting an like a double ear infection. And so I had called my doc, who, of course, did not want to see me at that point because I was still in the contagion period. And
Ah,
she's like, I don't think that that's what it is. I think that your sinuses are just so inflamed that it's pushing fluid into your ears. And that's exactly what it was. But now I've got this annoying ringing in my ears constantly. So my ears are constantly ringing for maybe like the last 3 or 4 days now. I'm hoping that'll stop some
Uh,
point, but
yeah, you're
uh,
gonna want to hope that stops.
well, my friend Ted had it back in January, and he's his ears still ring constantly, and it's been.
Mine have been ringing since 1996.
How can you stand it? I mean, like, I am just almost feeling like it's a little off-putting. It jumps with my balance a little bit,
Hmm.
so I
mm.
feel like off. You know, it's weird.
Yep, I know how it feels.
But yeah, and
Now,
then
you guys are saying ringing of the ears. Are you describing what most people have the tinnitus,
yes,
That's
which
that's
is
what I
like
yep.
a
have.
well that is what I have tinnitus as well, but mine doesn't sound like a ringing. It sounds like white noise,
No, mine's a ringing.
like a background white noise.
No,
Yeah, no, mine is ringing.
and it's
Well,
constant.
yeah, and it's constant for me too. But like when I first started noticing the ear thing, it was like somebody was playing my eardrum like a drum, and it was constant. And I'm like, oh, I can't even take that. And so, but my doc said take Claritin, so I've been on the Claritin for about a week now, maybe 8 or 9 days. And the drumming has stopped, but now it just rings. So I don't know, but I know it hurts. I can't go outside without covering up my ears, and
Ah,
it kind of sucks. Like this
so
morning, my doctor had actually asked me if I started to lose my hair yet, and I was like, "What?" And
what?
she's like, "Well, that might be one of the long-term effects of COVID. Like you could start losing your hair.
Oh wow,
Yeah, I
And I was
saw
like,
that.
hey,
that freaking sucks.
I
Well,
saw that
the
yeah,
as
the
one
whole
of the.
thing is now one of the places at the university that I deliver to is the influenza lab, and they've been studying it. They actually said it the way this virus is when they first got a hold of it and started being able to study it. They said it looked like AIDS and SARS had a baby,
yeah,
and they've actually been calling it SARS 2.0
yeah. Oh no, it's no joke.
because
Uh,
it is so. Oh, and there's also um, recently they were saying that it is mutated again to where it's even more contagious.
I had heard that too. But now I've heard too that it's the symptoms are a little less. I think I heard that it's like I don't know if it's lightening up, but it's easily more spreadable. I don't know.
That could be a possibility because I mean, this could be how the common cold actually came about because
Oh,
it's a COVID virus, the common cold is, and
yeah.
that's been around for thousands of years.
Yeah, no,
And I don't know if anybody's ever had any kind of like recorded history of it of when they first started getting it.
yeah.
But the common cold's something that won't kill you.
Yeah, and that's what well, Joe and I were talking earlier. I'm just like, it's not a matter of when. At some point everybody's gonna get it, is my feeling on this, especially if
Yeah,
it's mutating and easier to spread, like more people are just going to get it. And, there's no rhyme or reason. There's just no rhyme or reason. I've got this
right.
girlfriend, like I said, she was hospitalized in a medically induced coma for 9 days. I've got another friend who is
Wow.
on now day 90 of his recovery, and his doctors just let him know that he could go off of oxygen because he was also hospitalized, and just his lungs were super compromised. I'm just like, wow. I mean, even I can't even catch a full breath anymore. And my lungs hurt. I mean, they just hurt. And so
Ouch.
I've found like one thing that's helped me, and actually it was something my friend turned me on to. One of my friends that was in for, in his 90 days now, had said, if you can stand to sleep on your stomach, you should sleep on your stomach at least every other night because the lungs are on the backside of your body. And since you're very sedentary, I mean, with this disease, you don't not disease, but virus, you don't want to do a whole lot of moving around. And so just laying on your back that long helps pull up that fluid in your system. And they're finding, like people are getting blood clots and different things from that. They've got this thing called COVID toes that's like
Yep.
lesions that form on your feet, and they don't know if it's from that or if it's just from laying around so much that you're getting that. So, I mean, symptoms are all over the place, and nobody seems to know,
Well, they're
but
learning. They're still learning. I mean, every day they're learning.
yeah, and no, even my doctor today was like, tell me what you're going through. What are your symptoms? How are you feeling? Because they're all still learning as well.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, they're saying the latest that I heard. They're saying that we won't see a vaccine for this until probably spring next year, and
and
that's the
and
earliest.
and that's another thing. Like how, that's scary because, hey, let's start giving everybody these untested vaccines. I mean, that's a little frightening.
Well,
Yeah, they're trying to rush
they're
science,
saying
and you
no.
can't rush
They're
science.
saying
So that's
spring.
why,
They're saying the earliest is spring of next year
yeah,
because
that's
they've
what the
already,
experts are saying.
but they're already starting some clinical trials on a vaccine right now. Now you got to remember this started over in Asia and Europe, and there's a German company that's already started work on a vaccine.
Yeah. And I
So
think I want to say that I read something about that, but like a lot of the people that are involved in the testing on that are having some sort of other issues. I can't
Yeah,
recall.
they had there's Pfizer's one of them here in the states that's been doing it, and was analytical Analytica is the one over in Europe. They're the ones they actually had to absolutely stop their clinical trials because they had subjects had a diverse reaction to it to where it was some sort of issue with the spine
Yeah,
that
yeah, no,
happened.
that is what I read, something like
And
that. Yeah,
Pfizer had to slow down because they were having people having bad reactions as well to some of it. But it's all trial and error, and we gotta
Yeah, you can't rush science.
go. Yeah, that's the whole thing. We gotta go with it as we can because you can't rush it.
right.
But
Yeah.
Mm,
yeah, it's crazy. Uh,
no, it
I try
really
to
is.
I try to listen and make sure I know about what's going on because otherwise, you fly blind and it'll get you in trouble.
Oh yeah, no, I have found with the plethora of time that I've had on my hands lately, I've been doing a lot of research about COVID and symptoms and recovery. And that's the thing. There's so many people saying so many different things that a lot of things are contradicting. Um, so it's hard. It's so hard to take anything to stock. I think, we're just on uncharted territory right now,
Oh
and
yeah,
I
Well,
don't know.
that's just it.
the
And
last time we seen anything this bad was in 1819. And that was the Spanish flu.
you got
Yeah.
too many people contradicting themselves and all the
Or
misinformation out there
no,
that
1918.
somewhere along
I
the
said it
line something
backwards.
needs to get straightened out so that
I
this
have
can get
fudged my
fixed.
numbers. Sorry about that. It was the 1918 Spanish flu. Uh,
But yeah, so yeah, I mean, we just don't know. We just don't know, and I think in the coming years we're going to find out a lot more. But I think it's just one of those viruses that's, it's going to affect people differently, and it's weird. I
well,
mean,
you know
like
what
my
it all is, right?
what?
It's Gaia getting pissed off to the fact that we keep taking and taking and taking and not giving back. So she created this virus and threw it at us.
You know,
We're
really
like
that.
parasites. We're like fleas on the back of a dog,
Oh, sure,
and
sure.
she's just trying to get rid of us a little bit. Get rid of a few of us to kind of weed it down some, so it's easier to maintain.
The calling of the herd.
No, don't go to the herd mentality. I mean,
Oh, right. No, right.
oh man, it's bad. Anyway, Joe, anything else?
Yeah, it's about that time. Nope. Nope. I don't have anything lined up yet.
Oh,
So,
good grief.
and I haven't heard
This is a
anything
long
more
day.
about Halloween.
Yeah, I know. And I
I
don't
mean,
know if
I'd
they're
like to say more about it, but I can't until I don't
until
want to say
people
more
tell you.
about it. Yeah, until we get
Yeah.
something more in stone. But if
So
this keeps
anyway,
getting out of control, God knows that could get canceled too, and that would suck.
that's that's a possibility, but it would very well suck.
Oh, and then Thursday though, Thursday is the 8th, right? Thursday's the 8th. Now you're gonna make me look.
I'm thinking. Hang on a second. Today's the second.
Yeah, Thursday's the 8th.
Yeah, it's Thursday.
We'll have a special show Thursday to let people know whether or not if we won or not.
Podcastathon or podcast thing.
Yeah, watch. It'd be Wisconsin Podcast Association's website. I don't think I have a banner for it. It's wisconsinpodcastassociation.com. It'll be broadcast live there, the winners on Thursday. So,
Cool.
and we'll find out.
Yeah, we'll
We got a
find out.
50-50 chance, so we're the only ones in any category that's got a 50-50 chance.
Well, the thing is, they had to actually make a category for us
Yeah,
because
but I still
because
think
of
they
the way
need
our
a broad
podcast
type of
is.
category, but
Well, it shouldn't even be 50-50 then. They should just give it to you.
no. No, we'll see what
We'll
happens.
see.
But that's all the news I've got. So thank you, Erin.
Yes,
Hey,
And I
thank
hope you get better and
And
feel
I-
better. And
Yeah,
yes,
maybe 6 months down the line we'll have another chat and I can fill you in a little bit more. I don't know.
and if you want, you can stick around and you can chat still after this is over because it's about to end.
What's